Total fees are $2,935 per acre. If the stormwater pond is deeded and accepted by the city, it will not be part of the total acreage for park dedication. Utility easements will be adjusted prior to final plat approval. Title work is reviewed by the city attorney prior to recording of the final plat, and then the preliminary plat is subject to a developer's agreement. The comments noted in red will need to be additions to the resolutions that are before you. And then the conditions for the conditional use permit: a reduction in the off-street parking requirements to permit 201 standard parking spaces, 10 spaces at the service pumps, and 7 handicap spaces. This is what is represented on the current site plan, and all spaces are to city and ADA standards. A signage plan will be submitted with the site plan. Separate sign permits will be required prior to the erection of any signage on site. A temporary sign will be considered for 90 days to assist with traffic flow near the first entrance point. Landscaping will be constructed as indicated on the landscaping plan submitted, and additional comments from city staff, planning commission, city council, or related county or state agencies. And that is staff report.
Thank you. Okay, we will open the public hearing. Anybody who wishes to make a comment on this, the issue before us, is welcome to step up and use the microphone. Please give us your name and address for the record. Yeah.
Move to close the public hearing. Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. We have Resolution 09-126 in front of us, approving a preliminary plat for Diversified Business Park, Second Edition. Any discussion from the council? Any more questions for Ms. Rosenfeld? Mr. Trost, is there anything that you'd like to bring forward from your work with planning and zoning?
I think the biggest thing we talked about was the bump out by the pump on the right side. The city engineer would like to make that longer. Would the developer like to come up and show him that on the map? Please. Is that sheet of paper there for you? You can use this one.
Councilmember Trost, it's on the overhead projector if he wants to
Okay.
refer to that.
The planning and zoning would like to leave it like it is.
And the request was to extend this curb line.
Right. They think people leaving the store going down would be stacking to go out on Enterprise Drive. And if you were turning in, you couldn't turn left to get to the pumps. But the Planning and Zoning Committee think that the people will leave the parking lot going to the right and using that exit. They would not go left and drive in front of the building where people are walking and so on if they weren't going to buy fuel. So the Planning and Zoning Commission voted to keep that bump out like it is. You can hear from our city engineer, he doesn't come to planning and zoning. He might have a better reason to make the bump out longer.
Do you have any comments, Mr. Duncan?
I guess I'd ask Councilmember Trost, you're saying that the Planning Commission feel that people are going to leave using the western entrance? Is that what you said?
Eastern.
The eastern, okay.
If you're shopping there, you come out, you put your stuff in your car.
Right.
And you know what, and after you get to know the place, you certainly wouldn't drive to the front of the building where everybody's walking.
Well, that would be the hope, definitely, but there's always people that tend to drive to the front.
Correct.
They're almost like drawn to it like bees to honey for some reason. They always seem to have to drive to the front of the store. I'm just trying to protect, Enterprise Drive, because there is not a right turn lane on this particular entrance. There's a right turn lane on the other one, so the cars will be pulled off onto the right side. If they happen to be using this entrance, if we're using logic, people should use the first entrance anyway. you know, to actually come to the store. But we know that that's not always the case. I've seen this situation before, and once in a while it ends up in a backup and cars that would stack out onto Enterprise. I guess I don't see right now the harm in extending that bump out so that you're not even promoting cross-traffic from, I guess, the parking on the east side for people to drive across to the pumps. That's my point. And like I say, that's my suggestion. You can take it or leave it. But I guess I don't see a circulation problem. Cars can still drive through there. There's really no need for any type of delivery vehicle or larger vehicle to be back there. But unless something can be shown to me that that's a, you know, an access way for the delivery vehicles. But, and I guess it's not drawn on there. I could show you what I'm seeing. I don't know if people are really understanding exactly what I got in my head.
Well, I understand. I think maybe the planning commission and myself at the meeting last week, we never thought about the right turn lane.
The first entrance is the only one that will have the right turn lane. The middle one does not. There's not enough room for one, to put one in there, so.
Correct. I'd like to hear the developer's comments after that now.
Yeah, the other thing we talked about last week, and the tank farm is still shown here, but we talked about moving the tank farm over to this location.
Correct.
So that it's further away from the pond. And in doing that, we talked to the future tenant as well. In doing that, extending this curb line would really restrict any flow in and out of here for truck circulation and just the flow in general in and out of here. This is a standard prototypical type of gas entrance and exit in relationship with the building and to the main entrance here, and it has not had an issue with stacking in the past.
Can I interrupt you for a second? Would you grab that wireless microphone and please give us your name and address and for the record? And you can grab it and walk around with it if you want to, but then that gets on our recording, so.
This thing is
Welcome to Belle, Plaine.
Pat Barrett, 5125 County Road 101, Minnetonka, Minnesota.
And you're with,
Pat Barrett with Opidin.
okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Okay, now continue, please.
So just to say that again, this tank farm, we're looking at potentially relocating that to this area. And extension of the curb up in this direction would restrict the flow in and out of here for trucks and not only for trucks but also automobiles just kind of circulating in and out of here, in and out of the gas area. And this is a prototypical type of design for this kind of facility for Coburn's, and it